Hello and welcome to Sew with Christine. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be sharing with you how to draft this corset top. This is a two-part tutorial and this is the first one where we are going to be drafting the corset top. The second video will be about the sewing process. So if this tutorial is what you're interested in watching, then watch to the end and do not forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share this tutorial. I will start by taking down the horizontal measurements such as the bust points, the underbust, the waistline, as well as the hip line. I'll come to this part of the paper and I will also take down the same measurements. After I'm done taking down these measurements, I'm going to use my ruler to draw straight lines over all these marked points. From the center front here, I'm going to come inward by 7 inches for the half shoulder width measurement. And from that point, I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. From the shoulder slope point, I'll come downward by 7.5 inches for the armhole depth line. I'll go ahead and connect this line like so to give our chest line. From the center front again, I will come inward by 3 inches for the neck width. Then I'm just going to connect from the neck width to the shoulder drop to get our shoulder slope. Afterwards, I'll come down by 3 inches for the neck depth and I'm going to connect this way. On the chest line, I'm going to mark the half shoulder width measurement, which is 7 inches, and I'm going to draw the armhole depth line like so. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and label each line so that you will know what each one represents. From the top part of this paper, I will come down and mark the top length. Now this is where you're going to mark the length of your top. And I'm going to label that line TL. On the chest line, I'll go ahead and mark the quarter bust measurement here. Afterwards, I'm going to divide this armhole depth line by 2. And I will go inward from the midpoint there by 0.5 inch. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect this way. Afterwards, I'm going to mark the bust span measurement, which is 4 inches. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect this way. On the underbust line, I'm going to mark 1.25 inch here and I'm going to mark 1.25 inch at the other side. Altogether, I'm going to be using up 2.5 inches for these dots. For a smaller bust, you should mark either 1 inch or 0.75 inch on both sides. Then from the bust point line, I'm going to come downward by 1 inch. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect this way from the bust point to the underbust where I marked the 1.25 inch. Now that we have established our curve at the underbust line, I'm going to divide the shoulder line by 2 to connect from that point downwards to the bust point line like so. Then from the chest line, I will go upward by 2 inches. So this depends on you. You can go upward by 1.5 inches or 2.5 inches depending on your bust height. Then I'll go ahead and rule a line over the marked points. At this side, I'm going to mark 0.5 inch and on the other side, I will mark 0.5 inch as well. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect this downward to the bust point line. For smaller busts, you want to mark 0.25 on this side and on the other side. Then for bigger busts, you can mark 0.75 on this side and on the other side. After connecting, I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect each of these ends to the shoulder points like so. Coming to the hip line, I'll also take the same 2.5 inches that's intake there and I'm just going to draw a straight line from the underbust downward. On the underbust here, I will take the quarter underbust measurement and I will add the dart intake to that. I will do the same thing on the waistline. After taking the quarter waist measurement, I'll add the dart intake like so. and I'll do the same thing at the hip line as well. Coming to the hip line, I realized the paper I have there won't be enough, so I went ahead to pin a new one to what I have been working on. So I will just extend my line like so. Then I'll go ahead and take down my measurements. Next, I'm going to be replacing the dart I took at this part to the armhole like so. Once I mark this down, I will go ahead and redraw the armhole. Then I'll go ahead and connect the sides like so. So this old armhole, we won't be needing that anymore. That is why I made those marks there. Then on the bust point line at the center front, I'll come inward by 0.5 inch. Then I'll go upward by 2 inches and mark 0.5 inch there. Afterwards, I'm going to connect this. Then from this point here, I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect this way to the under bust. Next, I'm going to take the measurements that I have here from one line to the other, and I will mark that same measurement here, just that this time I'll add 1 inch to the measurements. For smaller busts, add 0.5 inch. For larger busts, add 1.5 inches. Next, I'm going to place my curve ruler this way. You don't want to place your curve ruler like so because you want this to accommodate your bust well. So you're going to use the fullest part of your curve ruler to draw these parts. So you see the way I place my curve ruler, that is how you're going to place yours. Next, I'll go ahead and take down the bust dart, which is 2 inches. The bust dart is the difference between your front length and the back length. For some people, it is 1.5 inches, for some 1 inch, but this, I'm going to be making use of 2 inches. Coming to the waistline here, for us to get the curve at the hem, I'm going to come downward by 4 inches from the waistline. Then I'll use my curve ruler to connect this way. Afterwards, I will go ahead and open up my paper. Next, I'm going to use my curve ruler to draw this neckline like so. Then at this point here, I'll go inward by 0.5 inch. So we are going to be redrawing the line here. From this point, I'm just going to draw a straight line upward. So you can see the new line that we have there. The old one will be discarded. Next, I'll go ahead and cut out my pattern. It's important you watch the way I cut this so that you know the exact area to cut off. Once you close up your bust dart, you are going to realize that the sides are no longer equal. So I'll go ahead and reconnect all these lines. So I'm trying to cancel out this line here because I said we are no longer going to need that line. This one that I've just drawn here is what we are going to be making use of. So guys, if you have watched this tutorial to this point, I would like you to give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Alright, so far we are done with the drafting of the front parts, and as you can see, this came out really nice. Next, we are going to be drafting the back parts. So from the top part of this paper, I'll go ahead and mark the chest line and the waistline, the top length and the hip line. Note that I used up 2 inches for the bust dart, so you're going to minus 2 inches from the back length. So if your front waistline is 17 inches, then the back waistline will be 15 inches. That's just how it is done. So the length of the back piece will be 2 inches shorter than the length of the front piece. After rolling these lines, I'm going to mark 1 inch at the center back for the zipper allowance. I won't be using lacing for this. I'm going to be making use of zipper. Then from the top, I'm just going to roll a straight line downward. I'll go ahead and label these lines CL, WL, TL, and HL. Then I'm going to mark 7 inches, which is the half shoulder width measurement. Then I'll come down by 1 inch there for the shoulder drop. On this line, I'll also mark 7 inches. Then I'll go ahead and rule my armhole depth line like so. Then from this part, I'll come inward by 3 inches. Then from that point, I'll connect to the shoulder drop to give us our shoulder slope. Coming to this part, I'm just going to draw my neckline here. We really do not need this neckline, but just so you understand what we are doing. Next, I'm going to take the quarter bust measurements. I will take the quarter waist measurement and the quarter hip measurements like so. Then on this armhole depth line, I'll go inward by 0.5 inch. Then I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect this way. Afterwards, I'm going to connect the sides like so. All the areas that I have marked, I'm going to connect them. At this point, I will use my curve ruler to connect these parts. You can make use of your front pattern to get the exact curve at this side. On the waistline here, I will come inward by 1 inch. This is to prevent the back from bulging when we fix our zipper to it. So I will use my ruler to connect upward and downward. Afterwards, I'll go ahead and reconnect this zipper area. You can see our zipper line is no longer straight. So this is how it should look by the time you are done with yours. So the 1 inch that I removed there, I'm going to replace that 1 inch here. Then I will just use my ruler to reconnect the waist like so. I will come downward by 4 inches from the waistline and use my curve ruler to draw the hem. Now for the neckline at the back, I will come downward by 7 inches. Then I'll divide the shoulder by 2 like we did at the front part and connect that to the center back. Just follow the red dotted lines and that is how it is. So we're actually done with the drafting of this dress. Next, I will be posting the sewing tutorial. So once you're done watching this, look out for the sewing tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.